Hello, and welcome to Jarviskjir Horn of Plenty, week 14. This is a long one.
Thank you.
How's everyone doing?
I'm doing well. Tired, distraught, depressed, very upset with everything in my life, but I'm doing great.
Sure hope I don't accidentally kill your D&D character.
I echo those sentiments and also have been feeling nucky.
I don't feel nucky, I feel...
As you
clean.
Cat just pointed out then, nucky isn't a real word.
It's a doxy.
In fact, as you Cat pointed out, it's a subpar word.
You're a subpar friend.
Is allowed on this stream.
We're in a fight.
Before we
now.
If that's like the Casus Belli like official declaration.
Yeah.
Before we get into it, this is when we talk a little bit about what me and Doxy have going on. I mean, all of you can have this going on if you want. If you want to be a part of it. What we have going on Friday, our Kickstarter will be going live. It is, and will probably always be until it is over, going to be Schism in my chat. And there's also links on YouTube if you are one of the many unwashed masses on YouTube right now. But it's okay to be unwashed right now. You're free reign. I encourage it.
You have a Kickstarter?
Yes!
Ollie? What's Kickstarter?
Oh, I've been trying to have this conversation with my parents for like a month. Basically, we are making a fast-paced skirmish board game set in Jarviskjir. There's connections to the games and the stories we've told so far, and brand new stories. If you follow that Kickstarter link, you get notified when it goes live, and so you can prepare and spread the word as we need you to do so.
Boy, that sounds fun. And financially acceptable. I'll do it.
Thank you, Dean. I really appreciate your assistance in this trying time. There's also a trailer, which is badass, edited together by...
The editing's a bit...
Yeah, you should have hired me. I would have done a much better job. Should have hired Dean Cutsforth to do it instead of Dean Curry.
And there's more news to come, so please watch with bated breath.
Yeah, I mean, holy shit, that's like 2 days away.
I'm
not counting today as a day.
Yeah, days are confusing. Don't worry about it. But with that out of the way, we can get right into it. Doxy actually wasn't here for the last hour of last session, and so doesn't know what these guys were up to. Last week we got to Balcutter, where you investigated the previous dragon attack around 30 years ago. You found a elder spirit that had become corrupted by the poison, and sought to save it.
Poisson.
Yeah, that'll do. What you did, you actually brought new life. You returned to balance, as you said. It was quite a nice moment, right? That left you a bit of time in Balcutter, but you were nice and injured up, so you rested there, where you heard rumors about a lot of things, actually. You and Sharon had a discussion about a lot of things, a lot of information that will no doubt prove incredibly useful, because he's a wise old Minotaur. Mainly that there's a ship's graveyard out near Balcutter, and it was very likely that there would be a ship from that your ancestors landed on this continent from, which was only like a generation ago, more or less. It's not that long. So you thought, we could take a gander at that, and did some investigation, did some magic, and yes, Richter found a magical spear inscribed with the signs of Ing. One that can gain life from the death of their enemies. Right?
That is awfully useful for a tank.
Yeah. Yes, it's perfect for Richter, and we'll see, no doubt, how it goes this week. I don't know why everything's a slow burn with me today. You know what? I haven't started my coffee yet. That's it.
I was literally just saying that as it was muted. I was like, you haven't had your coffee. That was it.
Some days you gotta go slow, and that's fine.
And other days you gotta go fast.
Don't laugh
This
at
was
that.
not. This was not a
Don't
paid
give him.
promotion.
Don't give him that. So we should really start off with. You're going back to Bell, who was guarding the. I keep wanting to call it a skiff. It's a sleigh. Guarding the sleigh overnight with the doggo, and you can inform her what you were doing and work out what the plan is next. You know, originally it was to go over mountain, but that plan might have changed, or there might be more specifics. That's all up for you to decide. Go.
We have not had a long rest yet, right? So I shouldn't mess with anything.
You had a long rest last night. Unless you
Okay.
got injured in the ship, which I don't think you did, you would be fully healed.
Awesome. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
You'd have already checked that if you're a class that had spells.
That's a mood. Okay.
So I can't remember if I wanted to bring the box back or not. I think I did, right?
I think you did decide to bring the box back because it's not the best. It's, you know, it's a little damaged, a lot damaged, but there's nothing really wrong with it. You know, it could be a storage for like potions or something in the back of the sleigh.
It's like Richter, really.
Try again.
Leave me
better.
alone. Just leave me alone. So I would put the box in the back of the sleigh.
Mm-hmm.
Pop my potions in there and immediately like start sort of practicing with my new spear. And you said the weight is perfect, right?
The weight of the new spear is perfect for your particular style of spear combat. It is designed for a one hand and a shield, more or less, all the time, right? Which isn't uncommon, but most spears are more designed for two hands, at least the ones you've been getting around town that you buy.
You can do a perfect 11-point gust of wind dance now.
Legend of Dragoon references are always fun.
Wait, isn't that a game that someone like streamed 2 episodes of?
I did like seven streams of it. It was very time consuming and draining on me mentally and physically. And I would go to bed at night crying because I don't like streaming.
Oh, damn!
But for the
hook, line,
story,
and
it is.
sinker.
I was
so
about
yeah,
to
I
relate
would-
more with Dean Cuddy than I ever had before in my life. Please. Training
I would be training. Yes.
before you head out for the day. Because it's still, by the time you get back from the ship, you'd probably be back just before noon, right? Probably been away longer than Bell would expect, but also you were planning on spending time in the town and procuring stuff before you go, so don't think she'd be worried.
Oh yeah, that I guess I don't need to go get
New
the
spear.
reagents for spear. Yeah.
Yeah, no longer needed as well.
I've just got a metallic stick now, a bit pointy on the end. Fuck yeah.
Is a spear not a metallic stick that's pointing on one end?
Yes.
No, because it's a wooden spear with a metallic thing at the end of it.
Please. If there's nothing to be discussed, let's plan a trip forward.
Yeah, nothing to be said right now for Richter. Anyway, I think I just want to get going.
You
Yeah,
wouldn't even tell Belle about what happened?
That's why I gave you 10 minutes of time.
Richter would be like showing you by doing it. It wouldn't be like, hey, Balara, my best friend, check out what I got, dude. He would just...
That's true, you do hate each other.
Yeah.
Balara, my traveling companion, who I often rely on in fights. Look at the good news.
I think
Balara,
the mountain...
we've returned. Check out this badass piece, bitch.
Okay.
And then I do a spin.
I love April Fools.
I would have been down for a
That's what's going
that.
on. I feel like I'm the fool right now. You wanted to travel over mountain.
I agree. I think skirting the mountainside is the best plan still.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
In which case, really, that's a Bell job. That's a job for... That's a job for Balara to really be in charge
Survival?
of. Yeah. Excellent. I'm really glad you didn't completely fumble that one.
Me too.
It would be very entertaining.
So when it comes to traveling the mountains of the valley, because Balcutta basically is at the mouth of the valley, you've done a little bit of it, Bell. Never with the intent to really go anywhere. Really climbing for climbing's sake, or hunting, or looking for a herb or something. But the mountains of Mother's Horn, they're particularly steep, particularly nasty. Plus it's winter. It is the middle, well, it is the beginning of winter. It's snowing the whole time. It is a hard slog. But you're guiding the way. You're finding the path. What's interesting about the mountains of Mother's Horn, especially when you get a little bit away from the valley, there are trails carved into the mountains from generations and generations of the nomadic species living on Mother's Horn, traveling in large groups. Minotaur, Borovar, things like that. And that's just the sentient creatures, right? These trails are incredibly easy to travel along and have been carved for such a long time, to the extent that some people might even consider them to some degree holy, right? But not paved or maintained by anyone. Literally just the footfalls of hundreds and thousands of people over such a long time. Amongst the snow, any interesting features of the mountain blur away quite quickly. You just trek onwards, relying on... Actually, this is a good question. Would you be trying to get any forage on the mountains? Or just focus on leading as quick as possible? Bell. Because you're really the only one who can forage worth a damn.
I would be keeping an eye out, but I wouldn't be slowing us down.
So here's a good question. What's your rations situation like?
2 days of rations. We're definitely going to need to hunt.
Laughter is all I can say to that.
Yeah, apparently I don't have any rations, which is...
Let's say
That's
you all
correct.
had a few days or so.
Are they not in your pack, Doxy?
I unpacked my pack.
It might have been, you might have used them to help the village when it was out of food or something.
That sounds like something you'd do.
Yeah.
Yeah, I genuinely have no idea what's going on.
I mean, Amaryllis would be keeping an eye out for eat nasty beasties. I don't know if I would spot anything handy while doing that.
Making a perception check and a foraging check is very different.
Yeah,
Actively
fair.
looking for forage, which includes hunting, although kind of tangentially, is very much a... We're slowing down the travel so that we can eat.
Figured
more
as much.
frequently.
Just thought I'd throw it out there.
If you want to give me a survival check, because if one of you is foraging, you're all slowing down.
I
Yeah,
think-
1 sec here.
Do you want to go balloon? Do you want to go balloon, Balara?
This is essentially downtime. No one is going alone.
Okay.
It is very easy to assume that a lot of this stuff is happening together. That's really good. I need to find my foraging stuff. So give me a sec.
So I'm going to roll as well, because Torrin would try to pick veg, etc.
You're more doing a sort of herbalist for it, sort of thing.
If we can get anyone there, I don't find anything useful. There you go.
Ugh.
I found this red speckled mushroom for you to eat.
Oh, it's a rock.
Red speckled
Hunting,
rock.
fishing, and foraging. That's right. I found it. I should really download this thing I use.
Bracken, mushrooms, shoots, carrots, EAMs are things that are typically found on
Oh,
mountains.
absolutely, right. Yeah, you... it's incredibly hard to find stuff in the winter, right? But Belle is trained in this kind of thing. Like the mountain equivalent of street smarts, right? You know the difference between, oh, that area isn't growing as much snow because whatever, or because there's something that's like growing under there, like an old mushroom that you can trundle up. It's even entirely fair with your bow that you've been catching quite a few small birds and things that tide you over very easily, actually. None of you would have expected that you'd be eating... Well, you haven't really been eating heartily at Cornucopia either. Ever since the dragon attack. So, you wouldn't have the greatest expectations when you're trekking up mountains and things. But with a roll that good from Belle, pretty much you're always actually stocked with food. Yeah, you're slowing down a little bit, but with a 20-5, it's like, oh, okay, I'm gonna go scout ahead a bit, and you also come back with, like, several mountain birds, right? Yeah, and that's a thing that I didn't forget, but I'm glad that Ian forgot. That
I forgot. I was like,
Amaryllis,
why don't I have any rations? Oh,
Amaryllis
hang
is a
on.
tree and just needs sunlight, which is a
Yes.
little hard to come by in the worst of the blizzards, but is not horrible. Yeah, you end up eating well enough through your journeys. Mixtures of hearty roots, small birds you can catch, maybe the occasional mountain goat. Actually, you know, that roll's so good. One of the things you're going to catch are the quite spry and hard to catch Manthalope, which is a gold-furred goat deer-like animal that exists in mountain lands all around the planet of Jarviskjir. And their furs can sell pretty well because they're really hard to catch and they have golden fur. Because
I'll
they
be
are.
having that fur then.
Please
Guess
give
your
me
boy's
another
getting
survival
your
for that
cloak.
one.
I remember these beasties from Zalstella and Sunday game.
Yep.
Oh my god.
It is a
Who are you?
It is a flawless skin. Like, this is Balara in her element right now. Finding a little nook from the harsh winds, skinning this golden furred creature. It's so flawless, like, this could either sell for a lot, this could make an excellent skin for basically any type of clothing. That's really impressive.
Damn.
Yeah, that is a damn. The Mountains of Mother's Horn, and you're never going up you're not climbing up mountains, you're traversing them over, right? Even in these winters, quite diverse. You pass frozen streams, you pass old little rickety bridges that people have put up, you pass dead trees that are just holding on against the wind so that they can bloom next spring. But you're not always the only person on these trails. about 5 days, a week or so into this travel. It would be Amaryllis who has the highest perception, I believe, who actually hears sound on the snowy wind from further down the trail. The trails always have a mixture of like high and low ground around them. It's a little bit too far away to see easily, but if one of you wants to scout ahead and take a peek, an eye pick, that would be totally fine. But the noise you hear, Amaryllis, is of a large group of creatures eating and what appears to be quite jovial singing. But the eating is combined with the crunching of bone and tearing.
A little bit off topic. Sorry to interrupt. Ollie, can we have a sleigh sheet that we can all edit with a sleigh inventory?
That's a good idea. Yeah. I was like, a sleigh sheet?
Yeah, I was like, what the fuck? You want a kill counter?
Or like, you want to put your fire outfits on there. That is a really good idea.
Thank you very much. All right, so what all did we get there? You said there were some sort of...
Don't worry about the particulars. Like I said, this is downtime, essentially.
I just don't want to forget to bring... You said that was for the village, right? We got some sort of, like, saplings or something? I didn't hear.
No, nothing of that sort was said. Essentially, you rolled well enough to provide food for this entire journey. While you're traveling on it, the only item that of note that you really acquired was the Mamphallope skin. Yeah.
Okay.
So Amaryllis would pause. Is this on the path we're taking that we hear them further down the path?
No, you can always divert, but that's... reason why these trails exist is because these are the easiest path, even for mountain-dwelling creatures. You don't want to deliberately take a very dangerous path and fall down a mountainside, because this is not just a hill where you'll roll into some grass. You will fall into sharp, spiny rocks very far down.
Yeah. Okay. Amaryllis would pause and sort of motion for everyone to stop and just say, I hear feasting down the trail, only... not feasting that sounds like it comes from humans, shall we say. The crunching of bone, the gnawing of meat, singing on the wind. A strong and perhaps violent group ahead. May be reasonable, may not.
Shall I go have a look?
Be careful, Belle.
We could just navigate around. It'll be tougher and slower, but we can do it.
Why don't we
see what we're up against first?
Check it out safely. Sure.
Though. All right, so I'm assuming an stealth check and
stealth and perception. Yes.
Sure.
And
yeah.
Single stealth.
Who are you and what have you done with Doxy? Why are you
man.
rolling over 10?
Look,
what is
don't
this?
complain that Doxy's getting
good...
my
God!
Don't complain that Doxy's getting good rolls on the mountain journey you need your survivalist for.
Yay.
Okay, that's really high. So, you scout a little bit further ahead because you don't really need to take the trail, right? The issue of going off the trail is the sleigh. But you, spryly, you can just hop up to a higher part of the mountain, peer down on this site, and what you see are gnolls. Not really a creature you'd know. A creature you've heard of. Gnolls are humanoid hyena creatures. These are mountain hyenas, mountain gnolls, you know, from Mother's Horn. So the actual hyena aspect is much more subdued. They have much thicker furs and things, and they're wearing furs as well. They have on a decline, actually, aside from the road. It looks like someone else who had a very similar idea. There's a traveler's cart that's kind of half a sleigh that is thrown off the road, and they are devouring the people who were using it for trade, as well as all the food stuffs that were actually on the cart. There is 6 of them. One of them is clearly leading them. On one hand is a banner or a flag, but at the top, and there is a flag, but at the top of the sort of banner head is a flayed open body, like the rib cage is crushed open. There's clearly some kind of religious significance to this. The specifics you don't know, but it's clearly something that's going to give them power. You can just tell from the way that they occasionally look, and with their blood-smeared faces kind of like yap towards the banner, that it is something of reverence. And this priest who is holding it, in the other hand, holds a reliquary on a chain that is like dangling this smoke that kind of seems to whip them up into even more of a frenzy. And like I said before, they're all singing. They're all singing in Gnoll, which actually you speak Beast Tongue, which has some similarities. Kind of because Gnolls are a race that never need to talk to anyone else. Their own language has separated quite a bit. But it's a very jovial song as they are crunching through like the arms of the city minotaur that had this cart and stuff like that. They are really enjoying themselves in this bloodbath. You're always warned that Gnolls are particularly twisted creatures. Not exactly something that can be negotiated with, so this is quite a danger. Although, with that 20, looking at the threat of them, these Gnolls don't carry much in the way of armor or weapons. The main worry...
Teethers and claws.
Teethers and claws, occasionally hatchets and spears and things. These ones would have tools like that, as well. And javelins, right? So, with that 20, the regular Gnolls probably wouldn't be much of a problem to, like, you, Richter, and to a lesser extent, Tauren and Amaryllis, but that, the one howling words of Gnoll and leading their chanting, which is very repetitive, seems threatening.
Okay, and about how many did you say there were?
There are 6 that you can see.
6? Okay.
But a creature like this, there might be more just over the ridge. There might be able to howl for more, But you can see 6, like, on the trail.
Alright. I would slink back to the poison tree.
That took me way
So it's dog people, and they seem to be having some sort of ceremony or ritual. They're chanting.
Dog people.
Yes, dog people.
Which half is which?
The whole of it is dog and person.
That doesn't make any sense.
If I was Vale.
Well, I guess you are invited to go introduce yourself and get a closer look if you'd like.
I'm genuinely asking, what are they big? Are they on all fours?
No.
I asked 2 questions and you said no.
I
Listen.
believe that what Bell probably saw were gnolls. Tall, gangly, strong and furred. Not dissimilar to smaller minotaurs, except dog instead of bull.
We could take them,
Yeah.
but it would be the end of our journey, at least for today, if not for longer.
What if there's more of them in the region?
we're fucked.
So
If we were to go around them, how much longer would that take?
Valara gives a knowledgeable answer.
It's impossible to tell on mountains like this. It could be
It's
the same
impossible
length.
to tell on mountains like this.
I see.
It's dangerous. It's slippery from the snow. It's rocky. Loose rock. Loose earth.
I will say,
And
with
how-
your, perception, the wind is so harsh. If there are more and they try to call for reinforcements, the chance of anyone actually hearing them is pretty low.
I do think these ones are alone. I do
You-
think that the 6 or 7 of them that I saw,
6.
we could take.
they're on the path, right?
Aye.
Well,
We could just walk by unassuming, and if they attack, then fight back.
what
one
if
of them-
we...
Definitely more dangerous than the rest.
You snuck in before. What if you crept in towards them, but you went a bit more towards the mountainside? Caused the snow to start rolling. Seen it a few times, it could wash them clean off. Then, while they don't necessarily have to die, but while they're busy in confusion, we can walk on by. Or run, most likely, but
Aye. Not a bad plan. How exactly would I cause this landslide, though? What shall I do?
well, only times I've seen them go, they've just sort of gone. Maybe give something big, a poke, or a kick.
Looking up the mountainside from them, would I notice anything that I could do to cause an avalanche?
It doesn't actually have to be on quite so grand a scale as like it could just literally be.
Yeah.
And I mean that's going to throw up stuff that makes it more difficult to see us as well.
Yeah,
So-
it literally just needs to be either you getting to a certain point and causing a large disturbance. Also, a very
Big snow
loud
angel.
sound can cause a small avalanche in an area. So
true.
risk is being precise enough about it to not get like yourself or those guys trapped in it.
Yeah.
Which is definitely possible because like the sort of areas you're thinking about it in the exact right way. There are just these mountainside areas flanked with snow and ice that are rampant for avalanches. You'd probably hear them quite often rumbling in the distance, slightly beyond the misty visions. But it'd really be the case of either getting up there unseen and like jamming a crowbar or something into the bottom of the rocks and then holding on, or creating a large noise or an explosion or something.
We're going to have to go around them one way or another. I think it's worth a try to try and knock them, disturb them. Because, to be honest, the chances of us ambushing them are quite low. Better to get the drop via guile if we can't by stealth.
It's a good plan. You just need to work out your shenanigan of choice.
I have a shovel.
Do perfectly. Enough shoveling, perhaps dislodge something big. The snow would start tumbling. You just have to make sure you got out of there.
We need people who are stronger than me to go do it. The danger there is that you're not as slippery as me. You might be
Weird.
seen.
I can give you a boost to your strength for a short time.
Let's do that then.
Torun places a hand on his chest. He says a couple of prayers. Chants slightly. Places a hand upon you. You feel the strength of a bear, not a bull strength. It's bear strength. Damn it! That's how it works in my pantheon. All right.
It's also literally there is a bear god in your faith.
Right.
So I get an extra
That's cool.
2d6
You
temporary.
get
hit
no.
points.
You get it's bull strength. You get advantage on. But I was just saying it's not actually bull.
You get advantage on the athletics.
Ain't no
check you're
bull
gonna do
gods in
later.
my
Got it.
pantheon. That'd be weird. What with minotaurs,
Well, you actually do have a pig god, which
Oh,
is
wow,
not a
so
bull.
pigs-
I don't know
pigs
why I
are-
said that.
I mean, like, I appreciate knowing, but
I want to be a character of pig god.
It's the god of the harvest. It's a big pig that keeps on eating, and if it comes to your village, you better feed it, and it'll eat all your food, but then it will come
Oh,
back
God, it's
later
the-
with more food.
It's for
it's
what
the
was
chupacabra.
Chupacabra. That's what it
Yes.
was.
Any similarities to the halfling chupacabra is merely a coincidence. So,
Collusion.
Pelara.
I would take the shovel from Richter, and I would say, I will try really hard not to lose it. And then I would just leave.
Yeah, this.
Pelara.
Oh, I have something
Laura.
else to do.
Take. I'll pull out my horn that I have for sounding alarms and stuff, just in
Balara
case.
calls for aid.
You have my.
Attach it to my, like, the little bandolier from my quiver.
Mm.
Be like that.
Talk about honkers.
So I can predict.
That was my favorite.
I can predict that something is going to go terribly wrong. So
I feel good about this, guys. I don't know about you.
I feel good about this as well, but it's going to go terribly wrong. So I am going to give old Richter an oily rub down. So I'm going to use one use of my muscle soother on him to give him advantage on his next athletics check. For when he needs to pull Balara out of the snowdrift as she goes by, going, "Oh!"
Or you could have given it to me, and then I would have been
You
able
have
to
a blessing.
athletics myself out.
You're good. You have a blessing
Okay.
for an hour.
Okay.
Hey.
All right. Stealth check from Belle. I'm not gonna give you a list. We'll do it in order. I just got
Okay.
scared by
Natural
my own
20.
shadow. I'm a fucking dog.
Natural 20.
You're a lizard, mate.
Pretty close.
19. Whoa. Damn these rolls.
Yeah, I don't know what
Yeah,
the
what
fuck
the-
is happening.
Don't jinx
The
it.
universe is
Important
making it up to me
ones
that they made Bunny Day a thing on Animal.
So, you already snuck near them before, but now you're trying to sneak past them. In this case, because they're on kind of a decline, the easiest way to do this would actually be to kind of climb under them and around by straight up, sidling along the rocky walls. And the mountains do form nice, flat-ish surfaces in a lot of areas here. You do hear the slightest disturbance. It's actually when you start climbing up the other side, you notice their priest definitely is like sniffing the air, right? But none of the others couldn't care less. They're continuing to sing along even though the priest has stopped. Kind of sniffs the air with an overly engorged nose. And then decides it must have been nothing.
Must have been the wind.
I mean, if I'm not going to do it, someone should. Next is an athletics roll with advantage, Belle.
Yoki.
That's
There
where
it
the
is.
love went. Yeah.
That's a doxy.
I'm going to need another stealth roll.
And you just flop straight down.
Yeah, so you take the shovel and you take, the way I've been imagining this, it's kind of hard to describe the geometry of, like, a mountain pass, but near these knolls on the other side of them from where you are, there is just this ice sheet part of the mountain. You kind of get under it and, like, chip away at the shovel while getting a nice handhold. Like, you work on it and it crumbles! There's, like, crumbling of rocks and creaking, but the snow doesn't fall. And you straight up hear, like, ah! from the knolls, like looking in that direction of the noise, you do just flat against the wall in the right spot, hiding your tiny little rogue body in a place they can't see, which means you can straight up try again. Athletics with advantage.
Let's do it.
What's also better for you is now they're approaching.
Oh God.
Yeah.
They're like, what's that
Oh
noise?
my fucking god!
The dice, no! I'm telling you.
That's so
Oh my
freaking good. You did everything right. You've done everything right, and I can't give it to you. Let's see what spells make sense here, huh?
He's gonna cast Shatter on you now, and you'll be like, ow, and then he'll go, ruh-roh.
Finger of death. Power word death.
Oh my God! Do you remember when we actually got finger of death?
Yeah,
Whatever it is.
Word of death.
It's this.
I remember when you got fingered. Well, the spell I was looking for isn't fucking
Just imagine Balara
So,
rolling
one more
down
set,
the
sorry,
mountain.
Nox.
Imagine Balara rolling down the mountain, landing at the feet of the gnolls, and she just grabs the horn and goes,
Two.
and then they gut her right in front of us. And then she's dead, and then Docs can't play anymore.
Well, we
All
want
because of that
Doxy
one
to play. Okay, excellent. You are trying your hardest. It's one of those things where it's like Belle puts all her energy into just trying to get this avalanche to happen because you know they're approaching you. The priest gets real up close to the side of the rock wall and lets out a chanting word that is empowered by their magic, and the ground at the bottom of the rock starts to shake enough to dislodge you. I'm gonna need a dex save from you, Doxy.
Okay.
Yeah, that's really... You actually, like, managed to twist and land properly, because you kind of see this happening enough not to, really, you know... You're a rogue. You're good at this kind of thing. You land appropriately. Unfortunately, in the middle of a pack of gnolls. If you guys would give me just a little moment... Would you just then start blaring the horn?
Yeah. If they already knew where I was.
Yeah. Yeah, you are like, you fall to the ground, look up, and there is a disgusting gnoll in front of you. One I will describe in a few moments.
Please stand by.
Please stand.
I can't try to talk to them in beast tongue.
I mean, you can try once I've rolled initiative. Sorry, miss, just regulation maintenance. Go back to your business, Knowles. Mountain maintenance. So, please roll initiative.
Is that everyone at this point, or just...
Yeah,
this point?
you're up there.
Okay.
My rolls are always poo.
I mean, it was a 10 plus 2. It's exactly average. Well,
It's poo by my standards, Ian. I aim for the high fruit. I don't.
That is just the
It's
biggest
a lie.
lie in the history of lies. Alright.
Look at that. Torin with a -1, he gets 17.
Yeah.
D&D shit. It needs a patch.
You actually balance.
Since we both rolled a 17, does
You go first because you have a higher dex.
Okay.
I'm guessing, but I'm pretty sure.
So I look to the leader, and in beast tongue, I say, "Don't be alarmed. My friends are coming. we're just gonna go right past you. This never happened.
You see a big drop of Gnoll drool drip from the jowls as it just continues leering closer. The smell on the beast is that of carrion and dead and rotting flesh, combined with actually a stray mixture of spices from the merchant cart they just hoarded.
That's dark. Spiced carrion.
So it is clear they're not going to listen to you. You're not even sure if they entirely understood. Actually, no, I will allow. I should allow, because I'm graceful, a persuasion check or intimidation or one of the two to see if you can get the message across. Yeah, I assumed. You know, the message actually gets across quite well. Like I said, Gnoll and Beast Tongue are connected languages. It's clear they're not going to let you go, but talking to them in a language they understand, the priest actually, like, barks at the others in... Actually, a word you do recognize. Very similar to the Beast Tongue word for steel. And the other one immediately starts going up and seeing if there's anything they can take from you. Instead of immediately just hacking you down. Kind of up to you how you would react to that, I guess.
I would just stand there and wait for my friends to come.
Okay. That's actually kind of smart. Torn, you are off in the distance down there.
Oh, that's a lot away. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Action to dash. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
So, with that successful check, these gnolls aren't attacking you. They are getting disgustingly close. Thick, bristled, furred hands, just straight up grabbing at the bags and things on your body. And like...
As they step closer to me, I'm gonna back up. They're not touching me.
Okay.
I'm more dexterous.
Okay. That's fine. That's totally good. The main thing is that they're not actually attacking you this turn. They're trying to take anything of worth from you first. And you are more dexterous than them, so I'm not going to make it a contest or anything. Now, these spiky rocky bits are difficult terrain. They're the inclines, declines. Richter. Yeah, boy, Bell's got in a sticky situation.
Hey. That's me, a Richter. Stand.
This is very heroic music, but it's not gross.
I'm gonna put Bless on these two and myself because I don't know if I'll get a chance to get it on Balara. So better it's on someone. Actually, wait, no, sorry, I can't do that just yet. I dashed. I'm an idiot. Ignore me. End my turn.
At least we're all on low power mode today.
Kitty's on low power mode on my lap.
Spells. The priest steps away, kind of, not exactly caring about you in this moment. And starts to, he actually starts shaking the banner. If you remember, the banner has basically a flayed and bloody body opened up, like a autopsy kind of. and kind of start shaking it in what is clearly some kind of ritual. You definitely notice Bell. When you're nice and close, and this isn't very easy to see, but you have the time to see it, there is kind of a greenish mist that almost swirls from the banner itself, and you seem to see it kind of occasionally, like, amongst the fur of the gnolls, like it's giving them a layer of protection. Bell.
So I'm going to tumble out of in between them.
Yes, that's an acrobatics check.
Hold on. I have abilities.
You're a scout. You actually might have a tumble bonus. I would be
like
surprised.
Cunning action or skirmisher, I feel like could be used here. I could take a bonus action to dash, disengage, or hide.
Yeah, tumble and push through are weird in 5e because they kind of don't exist, but they were added in the DMG. What you would want to do is make the disengage action and then move, and essentially try to move through them. You can tumble at any time by trying to move through an enemy, right? So you'd want to take the bonus action disengage, just so they don't stab you. And then move aside.
Acrobatics?
Yeah. It would be pretty logical if that connected, but unfortunately it doesn't. Now, luckily, they rolled a 13, so you only just managed to get away from them all trying to grapple, grab, steal what they can. Now, the way disengage works is you are immune to opportunity attacks, all of your movement, so you can pretty much move freely out of them wherever you'd wish, right?
Okay. I'm gonna end up over here.
That's high ground, too.
And I'm still not gonna attack. I'm gonna yell at them. My friends are here. It would do you well to leave.
Torin. Actually, let's see where an intimidation roll lies.
Okay.
Okay, Torin.
1, 2, 3.
It was a long shot, but definitely worth seeing what would happen.
Ow! What was that? You greedy. It's greedy for attention. This is slight high ground up here, right?
Yeah, this space down here is actually like 10 feet or so lower.
Oh, it's lower. Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's lower.
I'm
That's
actually on high ground.
recess.
Okay.
Yeah, you're higher than
Okay.
me. I wouldn't say that this is high enough to give, a tactical advantage because of the slopes and rocks
fine.
and things, but it is slightly higher.
I can see the priest. I'm going to prep a reaction because I can also get a read that they're not attacking right now.
They're
is
noticeably
peculiar.
not attacking. They have their spears and hatchets and things. Right now they're like equipping their spears and hatchets, but they weren't attacking immediately.
So I will prepare a sacred flame on the priest should they attack.
Okay.
Should they attack us, obviously.
Can you give me a stealth roll, Torin? You're not being stealthy, it's just kind of how obscured you are, right?
Sure.
Remember, you have disadvantage because you chunky.
Jangle.
Good.
I got spurs that jingle, jingle, jangle.
You, get up to this place, plant your boots in the snow and look over and kind of prepare magic just in case. And that is when this one up here, actually, with a long arm, when you see it stretched out in front of them, Null's arms are, like, uncomfortably long for, like, the size of their body. And it just, like, howls. It just lets out this howl that kind of, like, turns into yipping in the back of the throat. And will kind of, like, semi-all fours start a running at you. Oh, the regular speed boys.
Oh, I'm gonna Sacred Flame it then, I guess.
You said you would flame the priest.
Oh yeah, so I'll Sacred Flame the priest then.
Ah, yeah, okay. That's totally fine. I get that.
Watch out, boy.
It fails by like 1 point, which is a bit of a shame.
Haha! Finally.
Yeah,
5 damage.
5
My
damage
Sacred
is
Flames
really
are underwhelming.
5
Just because
damage?
they've. Oh no, 5 damage is good, but the ones that I've hit previously have been great.
But I think that's why I'm surprised at 5 damage when it's a D8. 5 is not the best roll you could have got, but I'm like, oh, really good roll there, Torin.
Yeah, I'm just used to ones. It's fine. That's why we use the mace, isn't it?
All right, Richter. At this point, you can see at least one of the gnolls just starting to charge, kind of spear in one hand, kind of this loped, 3-legged charge, essentially. And the yipping is just growing amongst them. Incredibly
I don't think
social
that worked,
creatures.
but I just
No, it worked.
I sprinted right past them trying to get to Balara.
Sensible. I'm sure Amaryllis will save Torin's hide.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Are you also? Are you within 30? No, you're not within 30 feet.
Foolish priest. I have myself a living banner.
That's surprisingly appropriate, actually.
I'm taking a bow shot at this one that's charging Torin.
That's what I dreamed you'd do. That's actually, I will say that is a hit. This one, if he has a shield, hasn't got it equipped right now.
Oh,
Right.
good.
And
And
Strider
then,
having that loping charge.
yeah. And then I'm going to summon the Elder Familiar in
That's
the form of
right.
a little ethereal squirrel
Well,
that will charge up and zap.
What
this
the
mob
hell?
boy.
Okay, you don't want to search squirrel. I don't know what.
Oh,
I
God.
don't know what this is. I'm not.
That's
I'm not
claiming my
even going to show
entire
you.
hand.
I don't know.
That's
There's a
not
lot
what
of
it is
like
now.
latex people in the Roll20.
Oh, the furries!
No, not even.
More bad dragons.
I'm not scared of furries. They don't fear me. What?
They don't fear you.
100% broken today.
100%
100%.
accurate.
That's also true. You can put that wherever you want it, Ian.
Like, looks like one of those wands with a very big handle. You know what I'm talking about. Like, if you don't have the best grip, they've like designed a handle just for you.
Why do you ruin all of that?
You know what? I think it's time we go on break. We're gonna go on break. We're gonna be back in a bit. Dean's gonna sit in timeout.
Dean had to have a break. It'd just be Dean's slot empty.
We'll be back in a bit.